Who are you really? I mean, really stop and think about this. When you are navigating your day, you are really just experiencing yourself as this nebulous awareness, right? You're doing things, you're not necessarily connected to your body. You really don't have an identity, do you? You just are this awareness. And it's that awareness that really dictates how we perceive or experience our reality. Now, the interesting thing is when we come here to this incarnation, to this dimensional field, we're born into this human body, we have this intention to experience life from the human perspective. Now, when we're walking around our day and we're in our mind, we're kind of unconscious. We're out here in our mental field trying to perceive and solve all of the problems that our mind makes us think we have. We are really this kind of nebulous just basis of awareness with no true identity. And that creates an issue with this whole human experience. You see, we call that as being ungrounded. We're not fully anchored here in the present moment. We're not fully anchored into the body. So have you ever walked around in your head, you're thinking about the future, you're thinking about the past, you're thinking about the problems, and then you stub your toe, right? That's happened to me, I don't know how many times. Very uncomfortable, isn't it? That brings your attention right back to the body, doesn't it? In such an amazing, really instantaneous way. That's your higher self's way of saying, hey, you came here to be human and you're really detached from the body. You are a nebulous, energetic being of awareness that is actually focused on human problems, but you're not living as the human in that moment. You are essentially ungrounded. And the more you operate that way without moving your energy through your physical vessel, the more fatigued, the more tired you're going to get, the less empowered you're going to feel, the more out of control you're going to feel, the less fulfilled you're going to feel, because you are not living up to the mission or the intention of incarnating this body in the first place, which was to land here and embody your energy and live from the perspective as the human being. Okay, so if you're in your mind all the time and you're anxious, you have anxiety because your ego is just presenting you with problem after problem after problem, you're triggered, you're living a small existence, you are going to feel very detached, disconnected, ungrounded. And that again is going to make you very, very tired. So how do we deal with this? How do we actually live as a fulfilled human being, right? Living as the human experience. Well, it starts with remembering what the intention was to come here to begin with. We didn't come here to create a human vessel and then experience it out here from the mental body. We came to manifest this body and live the life through the lens of the human being, and yet remain connected to the truth of who we are, which is this limitless, multidimensional being. And the more you walk around and navigate your day and your weeks and your months and your life, not being conscious of that, the more you're going to experience suffering. Okay, and the suffering you experience through the situations and the triggers you experience, maybe stubbing your toe, maybe being in an accident, is your higher self's way of getting you back into your body, to bringing the focus back into the body, bringing consciousness back into the body, and getting your energy moving so that you could have a more grounded and anchored experience as the human being. Again, that is why you came. So if you are finding that you are too wrapped up in your mind, you are too wrapped up in your thoughts, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling anxious based on past experiences, you're anticipating a certain future, or maybe you can't anticipate a future and you're feeling a loss of control, and you're just like not living your best life, you are ungrounded. You are not anchored in your body. You're living on a 3D timeline, which has a present, a past, and a future. Now, the doorway out of that is to get centered and anchored back into the body, to reconnect with the body. And it starts with becoming conscious that you have a body, right? When you're out here in your thoughts, you kind of forget temporarily that you're this physical being. You disconnect from it until you stub your toe, right? So we get back into the body consciously. We reconnect with the body. We reconnect with our fingers. We connect with our hands. We reconnect with our arms, with our legs, with our toes. We reconnect with our solar plexus, our root chakra, right? We can breathe into these areas and actually experience them. When we do that, we start to get energy moving through these areas. We become more fully seated in the body. We're seated in there. We're actually in the driver's seat, which is this physical vessel. And you start to experience your reality through the lens of the human. You're no longer out here in nebulous land in the mental body. You are present in the physical body, experiencing life. Now that life manifests much more wholly from a wholeness perspective, because your energy is moving through your central channel because you are allowing it to. You are present in your body and aware of what's happening inside. Okay, you're grounded, you're anchored. When we're ungrounded, when we're not anchored, we may start to feel the aches and the pains. You don't necessarily have to stub your toe. You don't necessarily have to be in a big accident, right? Maybe just chronically your body's starting to flare up there. It's trying to get your attention again. You became ungrounded. You've moved out here into the mental field. You're trying to identify as a human, but not being connected to the body, right? And that creates energetic slowdown, fatigue, anxiety, stress. Another sign to get back into the body, to reconnect. You're feeling joint pain, aches, gastro conditions, whatever it looks like for you. Your body is trying to get your attention, bring it back in. You've incarnated here and forgotten about it. It is just knocking on the door. It's trying to open your eyes. Get back in and assist in getting energy moving. Focus on your breath. Connect with your body. Breathe into these areas that are chronically sore or stiff, okay? Get back into the body. You will feel your energy start to move, and these conditions will start to alleviate. You become more seated, more anchored in the body, and you start to move your energy at a much faster pace. It starts to flow. And as you do that, something amazing happens. Your physical reality, the reality you experience, starts to shift. Not that anything external changes, but the lens through which you experience it changes. When you're more focused in the body and your energy is flowing, your energy is less fragmented. You are higher vibrational. Therefore, you start to experience a higher vibrational reality. Not because it didn't exist before, but because maybe when you were ungrounded, you just didn't have the correct lenses on to perceive it. So you get back into the body, you get your energy moving, your ailments start to heal, they start to subside, your stress starts to alleviate, the anxiety starts to vanish, and you start to experience a higher vibrational reality. More energy is coming up your central channel, and you're perceiving it through the lens. A more anchored human, a more grounded and higher vibrational reality starts to manifest for you. You start to experience energy and orbs and multidimensional connections. Your guides, your star guides, your deceased relatives, all sorts of things start to come into your experience because you are more anchored into the body. Again, that is why you came. So if you find yourself ungrounded, untethered, feeling anxious, feeling stressed in the mental body, trying to work through all these problems that your ego is presenting to you based on simply what it knows, which is a limited version of reality, false beliefs and limitations, then you need to reconnect with your body. That is the only thing you need to do. You need to ground, become anchored. You could ground in various ways. You guys could leave that in the comments. What are some ways you can ground? Get involved and drop a comment below. You could breathe into your body, reconnect with your breath, move it up and down your central channel, reconnect with your chakras, expand the space. Breathwork techniques are great for doing that, and you will realize that you will start to feel more whole. All of that energy that was scattered out in the mental field in all of the perceived problems becomes available to you internally now. It starts to flow. The lens through which you see and experience reality starts to change, and you start to experience a higher frequency reality, a new earth type of reality, one that is centered in unconditional love, because you are now focused into the body. This is so, so powerful. If you're feeling stressed this time of year, a lot of people are stressed. A lot of people are anxious. Brings up a lot of heavy thoughts. Know that you are simply ungrounded and not connected to your body. Take that first step. Realize that you have the power in any moment to shift that by focusing inward. If you can do that consciously, your experience will start to shift as you reconnect with your physical body and start to navigate this reality with the way, or in the way that your soul had intended you to do it, as a physical vessel.